Duo was created in order to capture needs of a very large and growing independent dance community in Toronto, in order to help artists have the administrative and production support that they needed without having the need for each and every one of them to run off and form a not-for-profit organization. That was basically the idea, that we could provide flexible services to independent dance artists as they saw fit and as they required to further their careers.
Oh, well, it was very smart folks at the Ontario Arts Council, in fact. Susan Cohen being the one who really headed it up. And because they were getting a lot of grants from independent artists and lots of questions, she said, they need some help. Artists are making art. They're not creating these grant applications and having to understand budgets, although they do. I mean, they're really smart people. But it was just adding to their already incredible burden. So they said, why don't we create something where they don't have to hire their own manager, because that's impossible on the money that they have, but that will be a shared management idea. And that was way back in, 30 years ago. So it was a very insightful bunch of folks there, headed by Susan Cohen at the Ontario Arts Council, that started that.
Duo was a grassroots initiative. I was one of the people in the initial planning committee. Susan Cohen was the dance officer at the Ontario Arts Council, and she called together a bunch of Ontario choreographers. And we discussed what it could be. Our vision was quite ambitious. I think we were at the cutting edge of these kinds of service organizations for professional dance artists. It was a very rowdy, feisty bunch. The term emerging choreographer didn't exist then. Independent choreographer was the kind of new term for most of us, I guess.
Duo was created over 30 years ago by the Ontario Arts Council. When they looked out at the dance milieu, they found that there was a deficit on the business administrative side of things, and they put together a committee of artists who sort of sat around and really discussed the idea of what was missing. And the idea that they came up with was this idea of what we are, which is Dance Umbrella of Ontario, or Duo. And the committee created this organization with the help of the Ontario Arts Council. After that, the Toronto Arts Council and Canada Council came on board as well.